Hello and welcome to all our viewers out there. You're watching the breaking news show on CNN News 18, and I'm Striya Kundu here with all the latest developments and the top stories of the hour from across the nation and around the world. And well, we begin this bulletin with news that's coming in from Maldives, wherein Maldives High Commissioner Ibrahim Shahib summoned after the Maldivian politician stoked a massive row yesterday over Prime Minister Modi's Lakshadweep visit. And what comes out is that Ibrahim Shahib has Maldives Envoy exits the MEA after the summons. So this is the breaking piece of information that we are getting, that he has exited the Ministry of External Affairs, and Maldives High Commissioner Ibrahim Shahib was summoned after the Maldivian politicians stoked a massive row yesterday over Prime Minister Modi's Lakshadweep visit. There's a lot that's been going on the social media platform X with regards to this. Currently, we'll cut across to our colleague Siddhant Mishra, who is joining us on this broadcast to bring us more details with regards to this particular breaking news. Siddhant, quite important news that's coming to the front, wherein Maldives High Commissioner Ibrahim Shahib has been summoned and is seen exiting the MEA after the summons. What more are we gathering with regards to his summons exactly when we talk about this entire incident?
Well, yes, that's absolutely right. In fact, we are getting to know that just a short while back, the envoy of Maldives to India, the High Commissioner of Maldives to India, has perhaps reached the Ministry of External Affairs office in South Block. In fact, we have also been told by sources in the government of India that he has been summoned by the Ministry of External Affairs, and he just a short while back he reached the South Block office of MEA. In fact, after staying inside for a few minutes, we received the visuals of him walking out of the South Block. This is perhaps the second time that through diplomatic channel, India has lodged a strong protest against the derogatory remarks made by the sitting minister against Prime Minister Modi. So yesterday, we have been informed, and perhaps sources confirmed to us, that Indian High Commissioner to Malé lodged complaint with the government of Maldives as far as these comments, derogatory comments, racist comments made against Prime Minister Modi on social media platform by the sitting ministers. Now, the Ministry of External Affairs has summoned the envoy, the High Commissioner of Maldives to India. In fact, he did make it to the office of South Block, and in fact, in a very strong language, perhaps a strong language was used, and at the time while speaking to the envoy, and he was inside the South Block for a few minutes, and then we saw him walking out of the South Block. So, this is perhaps the second time that diplomatic route has been used by India to lodge strong protest, and it also looks like that the suspension of the three ministers is not enough. Perhaps is not going to satisfy or is going to end or settle down this issue. In fact, the opposition parties in Maldives, and in fact the other pro-Indian forces in Maldives, are also demanding resignation of these three ministers, sitting ministers, officials of the government of Maldives. Maybe that is the reason that the envoy has been summoned to South Block today, because the kind of remarks that have been made, the derogatory racist remarks, and also given the close ties that Maldives and India have been enjoying in terms of cooperation in the Indo-Pacific, India being the first responder as far as Maldives is concerned, India helping Maldives in COVID times, the tourist inflow to Maldives. There are a lot of factors which have made the relations between the two countries rock solid. But since President Muizu came to power, and perhaps his positioning has been anti-India and pro-China, and look, here we are, where three of the sitting ministers of his party, his government, making derogatory remarks against Prime Minister Narendra Modi, racist remarks against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, what action has been taken by Male? One, they have distanced themselves completely from the statements that have been made by the ministers. In fact, three of the ministers have also been suspended. The president's office has confirmed this to us. And Foreign Minister of Maldives have also written a post on social media platforms condemning the remarks made and perhaps also distancing himself and the government from the remarks. But again, the catch is that nowhere Prime Minister Modi or India's name has been mentioned in the post that has been put up by the Foreign Minister of Maldives. So, tension still exists between the two countries. We are not looking at a possibility of this issue getting, will get settled down anytime soon. Since yesterday, the Indian High Commissioner lodged complaint to the government of Maldives. Today, the High Commissioner of Maldives have been summoned by the government of India, and it looks like suspension is not going to settle this issue. It has to be resignation, and this is not just the government of India or perhaps the followers of Prime Minister Modi believe. In fact, the pro-India forces in Maldives, those who believe in India-Maldives ties, also believe that these ministers should be made to resign. Back to you.
Siddhant, thank you for bringing us that perspective. We will come back to you, but currently let's take a deeper dive and just take our audience through what exactly has been going on so far. We are firstly going to bring you what exactly was said by the Maldivian MP and what exactly was said by Zahid Ramiz with regards to Prime Minister Modi as well as Indians, because that is the major bone of contention currently. Firstly, he had said that the idea of competing with Maldives is delusional for India. Secondly, he had said that can India provide services like Maldives? He raised questions with regards to the tourism industry of India. How can India be so clean like Maldives? That was one of the comments that had raised quite a few question marks and eyebrows in the country. The fourth point being permanent smell in the room, biggest downfall. That is another comment that had indeed irked most Indians with regards to what had been said by Zahid Ramiz, the Maldivian MP. Next up, we're showing you the statement by the Maldives government. Maldives government has said that they're aware of the derogatory remarks on social media that's been doing the rounds from their MP. Now, these opinions are personal. This is where they came out very strongly to distance themselves from the remarks that were made by Zahid Ramiz, their MP. Now, he's also gone on, the government's also gone on to say that the remarks do not represent the views of the government, and the FOE must be exercised in a responsible manner. And they also further mentioned that they will not be hesitating in acting against the accused, which is where we see the suspension of these three MPs and ministers. Currently, we'll go back to Siddhant to understand the situation on the ground currently, that's the diplomatic relations that is existing prevalent between India and Maldives. Siddhant, coming back to you, what has also gone down in the last couple of hours, or rather a few days after these comments came in back and forth on the social media platform, is also the positioning, the narrative that's been set out by the Indian government. It shows that India today is standing at a place where we are not going to take remarks of this sort from any government very lightly. If you could just elaborate a bit on that.
Well, look, it is also important to understand the ties and the relations between India and Maldives. In fact, during the run-up to the office of the president, Mr. Moizu's party's the main pitch in elections was that they will get Indian forces out of Maldives. So that was the main pitch, and that perhaps positioned them as anti-India and pro-China forces during the general elections in Maldives. But when they came to power, in fact, if you remember, Sriya, Indian government did send Cabinet Minister Kiran Rijiju to Maldives for the swearing-in ceremony of President Moizu. In fact, President Moizu's office requested for a meeting with Prime Minister Modi during COP28 summit in Dubai. both leaders met, and both leaders also came to an understanding.